Here at the camp by the fire, relaxing a little bit. Muzzle loader just opened this weekend. I've been trying to make the most of it. The reason I'm making this video is to explain why I won't be voting Democrat anytime in the near future. Number one, 20 years ago or more, I would have identified as a moderate Democrat, probably along the lines of a Reagan Democrat. Because at one time, the Democrats were the party of the working man. We wanted to be able to get a fair shake and not be mistreated. Since then, the Democratic Party has forsaken the working man and now caters to the liberal left wing in some most distasteful fashions. At the national level, you have Democratic leadership calling for the assassination of a duly elected president. They want to impeach him, but they don't have any evidence of any wrongdoing. So now they're having to go with, well, let's have somebody assassinate him. And that's distasteful, to say the least. You're talking about committing murder and permanently separating a man from his wife and his children because you think he's mean. Really? Because he doesn't go along with your ideology. You have leadership at the national level calling for their constituents to harass and violate conservatives, Republicans, Trump supporters, basically anybody who doesn't agree with what they think. You've had people harassed and assaulted at restaurants, run out of restaurants. You've had restaurants refusing to serve people. I hate to tell them this, but if you're a business owner and refusing to serve somebody because of their politics, that's not a good business practice. That's how you run about half of your clientele off. You know, they're now telling people, hey, you need to go ahead and stick your hands in people's food whenever you see them in a restaurant. You just try that with me. Not only will I break every bone in your hand, I'm going to start working my way up your arm. Don't bother me when I'm eating. At the state level, gubernatorial race, Ron DeSantis running against Andrew Gillum. They want to be the chief executive officer for the state of Florida. First thing, you got Andrew Gillum saying, hey, we're going to establish new taxes and we're going to raise the old taxes that we already have. And they're trying to say that this will go to education. Anytime I've seen a politician or a state, local, or national leader say, we're going to raise your taxes for education, that money does not find its way to the classroom. It doesn't find its way to a struggling teacher's paycheck. It finds its way to his brother-in-law in some backroom deal. Raising taxes like this, you know, they've got taxes so high already. This isn't taxation. This is a damn mafia shakedown. And I refuse to be shook down any further. Candidate Gillum was in Jacksonville shortly before he gave his speech. There was a shooting in which 6 people were shot, not far from where he was speaking. Turns out this shooting was gang-related. He uses it as a platform to attack the NRA. I hate to tell you this, buddy. I don't think we have many gangsters in the NRA. To furthermore exacerbate the problem, the man will not work with law enforcement. Wait a minute. Law enforcement, they go after and arrest these guys and you don't want to work with them? This is not only your city and county sheriffs and police officers and their respected administration, but the governor of the state of Florida has oversight directly of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, Highway Patrol, Game and Fish, Department of Corrections, and other law enforcement agencies. Capitol Police, if I left somebody out, I'm sorry. It was a mere oversight, no disrespect intended. But rather than telling us what we're going to do to get these criminals off the street, you want to attack the NRA and law enforcement. And these are the guys you want to supervise. Usually things are a little more civil at the local level, so I thought. Last election here, Democratic candidate won office. And instead of being gracious, this individual circumvented local law enforcement, went to FDLE, and somehow ended up causing some problems, including a good man being arrested for larceny and other allegations. And I would have personally expected better of this individual. Hillary Clinton, in a statement, said, well, once we take back the House and the Senate, then we can start being civil towards each other. Really? That is a screwed up line of thinking. You're going to keep rioting and encouraging mob reactions until you get your way? Throw a damn temper tantrum. Hop up and down until you're blue, lady. We don't care. You were not elected. So the long and short of this, the reason I cannot support any Democratic candidate is because their conduct has been so distasteful. And I don't really see any reason that I would elect somebody to represent me in this fashion. You know, our politicians are acting like a bunch of spoiled brats. Hey, if we don't get our way, we're going to hop up and down and hold our breath. No. We need some damn grown-ups in Washington and Tallahassee and in our local leadership. And I've had enough of it. You know, if the Democrats and the Democratic Party and the Democratic initiatives want any support from me, learn to conduct yourself properly, or you're going to find yourself on the outside. And, you know, you're going to end up causing the downfall of your own party, because a lot of us aren't with this radical left-wing, insane, socialist way of thinking. You know, it's an interesting thing. People say, well, I'm not a socialist, I'm a communist, or I'm a communist, not a socialist. Let me explain this. You're exchanging one dictator for another. Here in the United States, we're a constitutional republic. That means that the majority does not always rule, that we're a country of laws. People have rights that are recognized and guaranteed by our Constitution. We're a constitutional republic. We elect leaders and representatives to represent us as we the people. Not we the mob or we the special interest group. And that's about all I've got to say on that.